What's going on, YouTube? Mr. Almighty is here, and we are back again, man, with another Falcons exclusive interview, man. This is Craig Ackerman. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. The special teams coordinator, the new special teams coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, man. We're gonna sit down and see and learn about him because they during the presser interview where all three of the coordinators they kind of cut his interview a little short. So hopefully we get to learn some other little new stuff about him and see what he's talking about and see does he have a clear vision of what he wants the team to be, well, the special teams to be like. So make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share it to your friends and family, turn your notifications on so you know when I post new content. Also follow me on all my social and sub to my Twitch. Let's jump off into it.
Aukerman, I'm so excited to sit down with you about the special teams unit because actually, if we go back to
last year, our special teams
Matt Ryan talked
horrible.
about setting the vision and the expectation for what each unit was going to be. And for special teams, he said, we're looking for a unit that is incredibly detailed, that plays with great effort and strength. How do you feel like your teaching, your philosophy aligns with that vision?
Great
Yeah, I
question.
think it's right on from what he's talking about. When I started getting into the business of coaching football, one of the biggest things was talking about effort and finish. I thought that was the best compliment a coach could give me as another coach. So really, when I look at special teams, I'm really looking at who's going to provide effort, who's going to provide finish, are they going to be detailed? You know, that's what we want to be known for. We want to.
Two people I definitely feel like we need back on our special teams is Mike Ford and Cardale Hodge. I think those are your two top special team guys. You definitely need to bring those two guys back.
Be an aggressive unit.
It was actually a crime that Mike Ford didn't get.
So special teams has been a topic of conversation in Atlanta for the last year. And the main two buckets of the conversation has been in the kick and punt return coverage and in the kicking game overall.
Sure.
I kind of wanted to get your opinion on what you've seen from this unit and what you want to do moving forward with it. I'll start with coverage. And so when you are teaching coverage, when you are teaching in these different buckets of what you're doing with special teams, kind of what are your calling cards? What are the things that you are like, this is who we are, this is who we're going to be?
Yeah. I think, during the interview process with Kevin, that was one of the biggest things that he talked to me about. And I told him I take great pride in our coverage units. Every place that I've been, coverage units is a big thing for me. And if you go back and look at the stats of where I've been, whether it's Tennessee, Miami, we've always been good in coverage units, especially the.
Now, I haven't went back and looked at that, so that is something. I'm glad he just said that. I'm going to go back and check his stats on that. What they talking about? Yeah. They're not coming here and do Marquise Williams. I'm so serious. He bet not pull no Marquise Williams stuff. I am so serious, bruh.
Punt coverage. That's kind of my baby.
I saw an interview that you did in Miami where you were talking about that was the part of this job and this coordinator role for special teams that like you hung your hat on.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that I take great pride in. It all starts with the protection.
Now, one thing, Miami, I've never have a bad special. I never really seen their kicker really just miss kicks like that. So if he was part of that Miami squad, then okay. Tennessee special teams has never been really bad. Now that I think about it, yeah, he might be more solid than what I think. So we're gonna see though. Time will tell. Everything will tell when we get into the season and things start playing out for real.
Then are we going to get a great punt, and then our guy's going to go down there and have strain and have finish and effort, to go and tackle the returner. So it's a big emphasis that I always have wherever I coach, and then we'll put that emphasis here with the Atlanta Falcons.
Moving forward to the kicking game, it's no secret the Falcons ran out 3 different kickers in 2025 and ended up finishing the year with Zane Gonzalez. When you are kind of
Zane Gonzalez, I feel like Zane Gonzalez definitely earned his way back.
The kicking game. what does that look like for this unit, and what are your thoughts on Zane Gonzalez?
Yeah, I just think the biggest thing when they go out there is everyone knows that, hey, we're going to have a lot of confidence in Zane or whoever's out there going to be the kicker. That's the biggest part. We want them to have confidence. We want the player to have confidence. We want the team to have confidence. It's one of the biggest things that I did with Miami last year. We had an issue where our kicker got hurt, brought in another guy, and I sat him down and talked with him, and I said, hey, listen, you've done this your whole life. You're better at it than I am. I'm not going to get in your way other than give you some tidbits and information here that I might see, but I just want you to go out there and do your job and be confident at it. And that's what I'll tell to Zane, or even a punter that we have with Bradley or anybody that we have. I want them to go out and play with confidence, have a bunch of energy when they go out there.
Glad he's saying that, because if you watch Young Wei Koo last year and the year before last, he lost his confidence. Young Wei Koo lost his confidence, and you can start to see it on his face, and it start wearing in his body language. And now he's on a downward spiral. I bet you, Young Wei Koo probably won't be on nobody's team no time soon.
And just feel good about themselves.
I'm glad you brought up the
actually Romo. I think. Well, didn't we have? I forgot who we had after
guys in specifically for special teams.
After we had Young Wei Koo, I think they hurt his confidence because they really wasn't using him.
Kind of these like tryout modes or workout modes. What are you looking for from these individuals in those moments when a lot of times, especially for a kicker, you can't mimic a live game scenario in these moments?
Yeah.
So what are you
the pressure moments is different.
Yeah, I'm looking for a guy that is confident.
Yeah.
And
but like he's saying, if you have confidence in yourself, really them pressure moments will never get to you.
That are able to go out there and kick at any point in time, whether it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter. That guy that has some type of confidence in himself is always a big key factor. And then there's obviously different techniques and fundamentals that we're always look at. But, that's the biggest thing about the NFL. It's all about competition. And whether it's a tryout, whether it's bringing guys in, we want everyone to compete for a spot. Nothing's handed to anyone. I think that's one of the biggest things that I really like, and I'll talk to our players about. It's always about competition, whether it's in our drills, whether it's individual drills, whether it's team drills. Those are the biggest things that we're going to do. We're going to live by competition.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that actually leads me into my next and final question, is that some of the people that I enjoy speaking to the most during like 53-man roster cutdowns are special teams coordinators, because of the fact that dreams are kind of made on special teams. And,
yes,
and
it is.
There's a portion of the roster that you make a team because of the value you add on special teams, and you need those type of people to fill out a roster. So when it comes down to those decisions and you're in the room and you're wanting to stand on a table for someone, what are some of the attributes of an individual that you would want to fight for?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we'll be talking with Ian and Kevin, having an open dialogue about those guys that are the back end of the roster, guys that love football, that'll do anything for the team to win. My biggest thing with a guy is we.
And that's what you need on special teams, man.
Whether it's a 4-core special teams player, whether it's offense, defense, whether it's 2-core on special teams. We want you to know that role. We want you to excel in that role. And that's the biggest thing. As long as guys understand what their role is, that they can really focus in on certain things, then I think they're going to be a really good football player. So that's one of the biggest things that we'll always talk to and have that open dialogue with Ian and Kevin, is talk about that back end of the roster and what their role is.
Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me, and I'm excited to see what you do with this unit.
And there you have it, another good little interview with Tori McElhaney. Now, one thing I can say about this interview and the Jeff Ulbrich, they both said something too. It's very similar. People having defining roles and excelling in a role, not roles, a role. And that's more important than anything, because you need to be able to excel at your job before trying to excel at other jobs. So I'm glad to hear that. But hey, man, that's it for this. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe. And until next time, stay blessed, stay fresh. Shalom.